What's up, Sooner Nation? 20 wins. This team likely now at 8-10 is dancing. They're playing with
Likely, they're in. They're in.
house money the rest of the year. Maybe they can steal another one, but they're going to get a first-round bye in the Big 12 likely, probably. And that was a massive win. And, hey, Jay, three seniors, Jalen Moore, Rivaldo Suarez, and Latrey Darthard won in this game. Single-handedly, those three guys, okay? They carried – and Jay, arguably, those three guys all year have been the one that have, if you want to say cared the most, they seem like they have.
Hey, and it was not pretty at all. Free throw line is what won them the game. It kept them in the game. They had three or four three-pointers. And let me just say this right now. I know there's a lot of people, Jeremy included, don't like Porter Moser. I get it. Guys, what they threw out there tonight on that court for them to win, being down 14, unbelievable. You had Kleinchick, Godwin, Northweather, Darthard. I mean, Soares.
No Caden Cooper, though.
Soares was on one leg, dude. They gutted it out, man.
Yeah, and Shaq was on one leg.
By the way,
hey,
the play call to Darthard out of the timeout near the end of the game was massive.
Great.
Massive.
Great.
Jeremy's not in Walmart tonight. Yeah, and Topher, I know they struggled against Texas Tech. That home loss killed them. But they're ranked number 3 in the Big 12 in free throw shooting. So overall, they've been good from the line. Now, Jalen Moore tonight missed a couple too that were critical, but they won the game. Jalen Moore played his butt off. He's better than I thought he was going to be, and he's carrying him with Suarez right now and Darthard. And Jeremy, Oweh, he made a couple of baskets that were key. I'll give him.
He was awful tonight,
but he's just not the same player he was earlier in the year. He can't hold on.
He was overrated early.
He was good early on, Jeremy. So stop.
Overrated early. I called it.
Good.
You can go back to the videos and watch it. I was dead on him, and I was dead on Suarez when I said early in the year Suarez was the best player on this team.
Yeah, Moore kept him in it, and they had no business being in that game. None.
Well, I'll say this. The guts that OU showed was elite, but Cincinnati, idiotic, fouling 4 3-point shooters.
And I'm going to bring up something that's going to be hated. Maybe I should wait till later in this. I'll wait till later in the show.
Yeah, wait till later because I already know what you're going to say. But I got to shout out the crowd that was there. They did their job. They did their job.
Well, let's talk about it since you brought it up. That's an embarrassing crowd. Sorry, and it's not what I didn't expect. I told you this the other night after they lost to Houston. I said, who's going to show up on Tuesday? Not very many people. And I was correct, Jeremy, and you were not. Sorry. For some reason,
I was wrong, Jay, but I love the ones that were there. They were loud.
But was that a good crowd?
It wasn't a great crowd. It was probably good for OU.
It wasn't a good crowd, Jeremy. It wasn't a good crowd. And
it was about like the OSU game and Texas game.
All right. Well, I don't want to get into it with the crowd because we could talk about it all night. But it's huge. It's a W. They're going dancing. Porter Moser gets into the tournament, and they gutted out. And let's not forget tonight, Milos Uzan probably had his worst game in an Oklahoma uniform.
He's got the yips. He couldn't even make layups, Jay.
He airballed one like 3 feet away. He was bad tonight. And I tell you what, and also.
Exactly. I agree, Poncho Jack. And from what I saw, the lower level was bad at the beginning. And I think people moved down to the lower level because those seats are empty. But it was louder than most people were thinking.
Jeremy. I'm talking about it wasn't a good crowd. Did you see how many people were there? Not very many.
What do you mean by not very many, though?
There were empty seats. The whole upper deck was empty.
There's a lot of empty seats, Jay. They're allowed when it matters.
Whatever, guys. I don't want to do this all night. I'm just saying, for you guys that argue that OU their basketball fans are passionate, it's wrong. Some of them are. Some of them are. But in general, it's not. Whatever.
If they were top 10 in the country, it'd be packed. It would be packed.
No, it wouldn't. Not on a weeknight game, Jeremy. I went to the Buddy Hield season on weeknight. TCU. I went to other games. They weren't packed. So stop. Let's get on.
Okay, move on. Great win tonight by the Sooners. I give Porter Moser credit. The out-of-bounds play to Darthard was great. Still some very questionable things. I still don't understand for the life of me how Caden Cooper can't get on the floor.
Well, he doesn't look sad about it.
I don't understand for the life of me how he can't see any minutes. I'll give Kleincheck credit. He had a stretch there where he started hitting. He had the free throws, but he tried to do too much, and they kind of left him in a little too long. He had 2 straight turnovers. The back killed him.
Hey, Mark, they are a lock. There's no way they're not getting in now.
I don't know if they're locked, but they should be in.
What do you mean? They were saying that we were locked before that game. What are you talking about, Jeremy? They're a lock. It doesn't matter what they do the rest of the way. They're done. It's done.
It's not a lock, Jay.
It's 100% a lock, dude. So stop. You're ridiculous, man.
100%?
Yeah, they're not getting out. They're in. Period.
Okay.
What
I think they're in. It's not a lock, Jay. You can't say it's a lock.
Gosh.
You can't say it's a lock right now.
Man, I don't, dude,
I absolutely, hey, Sooner fan, I absolutely think we're in. I would say 90 to 95%. Yes. I'm just saying you can't say a lock because where's the lowest OU can finish in the conference? 10 or 11?
It doesn't matter where they finish. They're 8 and 10 at best. They're in. I mean, at worst.
I agree. I think they're in. I'm just not going to say lock because Porter's first year they should have gotten in. They didn't.
Jeremy, did you watch the game?
Yes.
Did you see where their stats are as far as strength of schedule, RP, all that?
It's good.
They're not getting left out, dude. So just move on.
I didn't say they're getting left out. I said it's not a lock. Moses' first year, they should have made the tournament. Fact.
Let's talk about the positives for tonight because we could all talk about it wasn't pretty. It doesn't matter. It's a win. And when they needed to have plays, some of the guys that haven't really, like Darthard, I mean, you talk about some big-time free throws. I think to keep him in him, he missed one near the end, but the 2 he got fouled from 3 on and made all 6, huge. Kleinchick made all 3, huge. And Suarez was half of himself in the second half. He was limping all over the court.
He's still the best player on the floor.
Uzan, foul trouble, couldn't do anything, and they won the game. I don't know how they won that game, to be honest with you, but they won it, and that's all that matters.
They won it. I'll tell you how they won it. Grit, hustle, things like that. The guys that actually were playing care a whole lot about it, and they've been the ones that really have shown that they cared more all year. And I'm sorry, Jay, my opinion, I was right a few weeks ago on Oweh. He's got to figure something out. Not only was he bad, Jay, wait. His defense, he got turned around. His back was to the defender. It's bad. Suarez can't come back next year.
No. Hey, what's up, Mike? How are you tonight? Glad you're
Hey, Jay, Latrey Darthard played more than anyone on minutes tonight and was great.
Yeah, he played 42
minutes. You can bench McCollum some, Moser. You can bench McCollum some.
Well, I said that a couple weeks ago. If he's not playing it, Darthard's perfectly capable, and Darthard is a better shooter than McCollum this year. You can't.
How about this, Jay? How about this? And listen to this. McCollum and Oweh both should come off the bench. How about that?
No, they're going to start McCollum. That's fine. I mean, I think Darthard just needs more minutes. Hey, it's a W. And Cincinnati, man, they got to be kicking themselves. Do you know how many games they've lost this year? Single digits? I mean, it's freaking a lot.
7-9. And I remember I remember getting roasted, Jay, by you when I said Oweh's a garbage guy. He gets garbage baskets, hits some open shots, but
I don't want to bring up stuff that people have said before. I could say that.
Well, then don't bring up the fan thing.
Okay, I could say that you said Darthard shouldn't even be on the team. He's not any good. So let's just move on, please, before you get yourself backed into a hole. So let's talk about football for a minute. Basketball, great win. They get Texas next. Hey, and you're, like you said earlier, you're playing with house money against Texas. Who knows? Here's the thing. If McCollum's not fully healthy, I don't play him. I don't. Unless he's fully go, I don't play him.
Hey, and look, I'm not doing this tonight. Okay? Okie Lawn guy, I'm going to call you out. And, Hunter, we can stop showing. I'm the one that hit this comment. But first off, take that, Jeremy. I watched every minute of that game, and I was passionate the whole time watching it. I'm not going to make any comments towards you tonight about it. If you're going to say comments like this, when you say take that, Jeremy, you are implying that I wanted OU to lose. That's ridiculous. I'm a diehard OU basketball fan, have been my whole life. I tell it like it is.
Jeremy,
you can take that.
Jeremy, what he's saying is you don't like Porter Moser. So he's saying take that. That's what he's saying.
I like Porter Moser as a person. I thought he's been bad as coach.
No, I think what Okielon guy is saying is
I don't give a rip what Okielon guy says.
What he's saying is that
move on.
Yeah, Porter Moser, you don't like him, and take
To
that.
make a comment about sucking someone's toe is ridiculous, and it needs to be removed.
Hey,
period.
Let's go back to what Mike said. Guys, the biggest crystal ball today that was out there, 5-star offensive lineman Ty Haywood. Huge.
Saw that.
Yeah, Greg God just dropped it in here too. There's a really good chance, Greg God, I mean, that they could land. If they landed both of those guys, I mean, it's almost like the power line, but on the offensive side of the ball. And that would be massive. I mean, you talk about huge for 2025. That would be so big time if they get 2 5-star offensive linemen. At that point, the beat 'em bow crowd would have to kind of turn around. And yeah, exactly, Hunter.
Haywood is a dude, as Jimmy says. He's really, really good. Hey, man, that would have just been horrible. If they would have lost 2 games in a row at the buzzer, it would have been awful. What a win tonight.
Don't forget, Owen Hollenbeck, I don't know, a month ago, talking about how this offensive line class for Oklahoma in 2025 is going to be the best ever. And he knows, and he probably has relationships with some of these guys. He probably feels pretty good that OU can land and might land both of those guys. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think 2025, power line, defensive line 2024. I think if OU really does want to make that next jump in college football, you got to have both trenches. And they got it in 24. Hopefully we'll see on the field. But now if you did that in 2025, you're talking about, your first, maybe the second, third, fourth year in the SEC really having great talent in the trenches, which would be huge. It'd be much needed, much needed.
Hunter's right. Owen and Foji, very, very underrated, actually.
Yeah, big time.
Spring practice begins next Monday. Texas fueling fire for softball. That's going to be an awesome series, OU Texas.
I hope
OU Texas basketball. I think OU wins against Texas basketball.
I hope that Texas doesn't lose a softball game until OU. I hope they're ranked number 1. I really do.
Yeah, and
hey, Josh.
Josh, thanks so much. Appreciate the super. Appreciate you so much, Josh Crenshaw. We are all ready for football season. Can't wait. Spring practice start Monday. Someone said, Tone, look, I'll just very briefly kind of give my synopsis of what I've not appreciated or not been impressed with. His offensive scheme, in my opinion, with all the high ball screens is less freeing for players. That's my biggest complaint. My second biggest complaint is the fact that he hasn't been able to keep guys like Jalen Hill, Elijah Harkless.
Those guys weren't his guys.
Wait,
they weren't.
They played for him. They played a year for him. I don't care, Jay. Let me talk. He wasn't able to keep Jalen Hill, Elijah Harkless, Emoja Gibson. I go on and on. 5 or 6 more guys. Bijan, all these guys he couldn't keep. I didn't like that. A lot of the staff turnaround. There was a lot of that. And I just think a lot of it is, in my opinion, it's the offensive scheme. He's so, I don't want to say stubborn or pride. He won't ever switch to any kind of defense if things aren't working. Those are my complaints. Love the guy as a person. I will say this. I think as you get into March, you want Porter Moser as your coach because that's where he's been most successful.
So what you're saying is he doesn't know how to coach in February. He's not very good, but in March he can somehow wake up on the other side of the bed and coach great ball. Great ball. I mean, hey, Topher. I think go back to Topher's real quick, Hunter, because I think that was it was the other one. It was a great point, basically saying that OU needs to break out the checkbook for Susie, Haywood, and Rogers. Likely not getting all 3, but try to get 2 of them. Yeah, Foji is rising, correct. And there's some solid guys. I agree big time, Topher. And you're right. You're probably not going to land Lamont Rogers, Ty Haywood, and Michael Fasusi. But 2 out of the 3, I think it's very similar to the power line. You weren't going to get McKinley, all of them, right? But they did get a majority and a good haul. I think the exact same thing needs to happen on the offensive side of the ball. And if it does, look out. And because that's where championships are won, trenches. and that would be a massive back-to-back recruiting class.
Yeah, big men would be great. And by the way, what have those guys that left done? Elijah Harkless was really, really good.
What have they done, Jeremy? I'm here for it.
I was just telling you, Joe Bamaseal's been great this year.
Yeah,
Elijah Harkless was really good. Jacob Groves has been better player at Virginia than he ever was at OU.
Groves back?
No, I don't. I'm saying they've all had better seasons when they left. That's all I'm saying. Jeez.
Greg God thinks Owen could. Oh, Owen Hollaback, I think is what he's saying. Yeah, Harkless was a great perimeter defense. You know what, though? I think part of this Oklahoma basketball problem this year, if you look at their games at home, and the start of games have been brutal. They were down 18-5 within 7-8 minutes today, and I thought the game was over.
What's that cause of?
And you cannot argue the last two games getting down 14 to 15 points, and they fought their way back. That tells me there's fight in this team, and that to me also does have to come from the top. People aren't going to fight for somebody they don't believe in. I just don't think so, but.
I never said there isn't belief. Now,
hey,
there's some guys who, in my opinion, Hunter might know the presser time. I want to hear Zach Alley talk.
Yeah, you're right, Topher. He has not found the right player. And listen, basketball is a totally different animal with the portal because 2 or 3 guys leave. You can get 2 or 3 guys, and they can be great. Perfect example, Eric Musselman in Arkansas. He's made the Elite Eight twice with great transfer portal classes. Everybody thought this year was going to be another portal class. They did not mesh very good, and they've been brutal. So is Eric Musselman now a bad coach? No, but it didn't work out. I just that's my opinion. I will always be a believer that I think Porter Moser can coach basketball. So
I absolutely think Porter Moser can coach basketball. I just don't know if he hasn't been a great fit. Maybe they're figuring some things out. And I never said I wanted the Groves brothers back. Obviously, you don't listen very well when you say things like that. I said Jacob Groves is having a better year this year than he did at OU. It does remind me a little of a Kruger season.
Well, let's not forget. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just you were bringing up Lon Kruger. Let's not forget. Last 3 or 4 years, I think his best record in Big 12 is 8-10 or 7-11. So.
No, actually, you're wrong.
Pretty much. You can go look it up.
Okay, Hunter can look it up. We've had the argument before. Jeez.
Spangler was a dog. I love Spangler. Love Spangler.
Yeah, Twitter was ripping the crowd, too. It wasn't a great crowd number-wise, but it was a great crowd. It's like you had the passionate ones there. And, yeah, there probably would be better things at DePaul.
Hey, yeah, I mean, hit the
Jay,
like
you
button.
can respond. I'm not responding.
Hit the like button. What do you mean, Zayden? OU's a mid basketball team this year. I mean, they're going to be middle of the pack. I mean,
that is what they are. They're mid. I agree.
Tournament, they're going to be 8 or 9, probably 8 or 9 seed.
Yeah, so, they're middle of the pack.
Ricky,
absolutely, they're going to lose some guys. They always do.
It doesn't matter OU or whatever team you're on. I don't know of any college basketball team that will not have portal entries from here on out. I mean, it's going to happen every year. Every team's going to have portal entries.
And everyone knows what happens in March. Mid teams sometimes have really good runs. So, nice drink there, Jay.
That's right. Hey, Godwin's back, I think. Even though
he's back.
He went through senior day. I tell you, a guy like Darthard, senior night, and I mean, guys, let's be honest. Senior night
and more too.
Senior night does not mean what it used to.
No.
You know what I mean? You do senior night, but some of these guys have been there 1 year. Like it's not the same as it used to be.
I will say I missed Lon Kruger and Kelvin Sampson on senior night when they would call timeout and pull their guys over and give them hugs. That I like that. I don't see that, but
Hunter says
you're right, Hunter. It is. Never know what you're going to get. That's absolutely right. But what I do love is that at least there was some fight tonight, and part of it had to do with who was on the floor. Okay.
So you're
period.
saying McCollum not a fighter?
Jay, McCollum's not someone who's diving on the floor for loose balls.
Yeah, and I will say
Neither's Oweh.
Here's what I'll say about McCollum being out, because I think it did hurt him a little bit, but I've been saying Darthur needs to play more. What Darthur gives you on defense is night and day to McCollum. It's not even close. And those two guards that Cincinnati had were elite, by the way, elite. And Soares,
you're right, man.
I agree. And not just Soares. I mean, Jalen Moore tonight in overtime, I think it was Jizzle James, who, by the way, is unbelievable. He went to the rack for a bucket and Moore affected the shot near the end of the game. Huge play by Moore.
How old do you feel if Edgar and James's son is playing? OU baseball wins.
Great question. What storylines do you want to hear come in? I want to hear a couple things. I want to hear that a couple of the transfer offensive linemen are making a big impact. I want to hear that they're better than advertised. I would love to hear that. That the O-line, and actually about the O-line, I'd like to hear that, and you're not going to hear it. They're not going to say it even if they do, but I'd like to know that they have an idea of what five they would go with, because I think that was part of the big problem last year is they didn't get that figured out till mid-season maybe. And then the other one would be defensive linemen. I'd like to see the defensive linemen. We know they're good. We know they're talented. We know they're very talented. And I'd like to hear that they're making an impact right away in spring practice. Fabetti is going to be solid, Topher.
I agree with Topher here on I think I'm highest on Fabetti. Miwu. That's who I'm highest on the O-line.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, you did hear that right, Kyla, that he's probably going to maybe be able to play in the Big 12 tournament, which would be massive.
Hey, what's up, Braden? I almost called to see if you wanted to go to the game tonight. Last minute. It would have been a great one to go to, too.
What do you think about a defensive tackle from the Porter, Jeremy?
I would say this. I disagree with Jimmy in the fact that they don't need to get one. If there is one available and they wanted to add some depth, they could, but I don't think they need to go get one. And no, I did not have my Bible study group tonight. We'll be back at it next week. I'll be back in the Walmart parking lot. This feels weird. It doesn't even feel like a Tuesday night.
Hey, Josh is asking if Hollywood ran the 40, does he break the record? I don't think he's breaking 4.21. I think
he doesn't. He'd run a 4.3.
I mean, which is really fast, but 4.21.
What about this, Jay? I think Brendan Thompson would run faster than Hollywood Brown.
But he's not running 4.21, is he?
No. He may run a 4.29.
Bobby says he thinks they're going to get a defensive tackle and another offensive line.
How do you know who they are, Bobby? Who are they?
Yeah, Hollywood wouldn't break the record.
Mark, that's right. You're going to be in town. We need to try to figure out a night we can get a bite to eat.
Talking some baseball here, Hunter is.
Yeah, bad losses in Vegas, early still. That's the thing with baseball, very early.
Ricky says the Duke Center, which, hey, you already got the Duke connection with the analyst, by the way.
That is true. And actually, that's a position they can really use.
Yeah.
And
I think it's pretty clear if they get a center, they're not sold on what they got for this year.
Absolutely would be true.
And it's because Bates is so young. He's so young.
Oh yeah, Bobby. If it's behind a paywall, I don't know. I just thought maybe you had in your mind who you thought. No, Okie Lawn guy. They're not getting a Duke transfer. Ricky's saying that there could be a possible portal entry after the spring in a Duke center, is what he's saying.
Correct.
Chief T-Bird, you and I are very, very, very high on Brendan Thompson. I know. Me and you and I are really high on Brendan Thompson. So,
correct. Yeah.
If he's running the 4.29, he's got to get on the field a lot.
We'll see.
We saw a glimpse of it in the bowl game, 2 straight deep balls. no one near him within 7 yards. Okay.
Jerry,
Okay.
what were your thoughts on the question that Chief asked about coming out of spring practice? Anything that we didn't mention that you think?
As far as
Canic?
headlines,
what about Canic? Linebackers. I mean,
I don't know if we're going to know anything specifically on linebackers coming out of the spring. I don't think that'll happen as far as that, but I don't know. I'm curious. One guy I'm curious to see if he gets a lot of run is Javonte Barnes. Great God, you're talking about Samuel Franklin, I believe. No, is that right?
Malaska.
Oh, he's not. I thought he was talking about the running back.
No, he's talking about the defensive back from Utah, I think.
Okay. Oh yeah, Utah. Yeah.
I do think Franklin's really fast though. Running back.
He's not as fast as Gavin Sawchuk.
Freeman, if I had to put a money on it, I think Freeman might be a 4.45 guy, 4.5. Probably a 4.45. What do you think?
I was going to say probably 4.5 guy.
Yeah. Sawchuk is a guy we haven't talked about his speed. He doesn't look like he's moving, but he is.
That's the sign of a good runner, Jay.
Correct.
Yeah, Ron, you are correct. I saw the comment. Fastest man he's ever seen, and we know that he's run with Tyreek Hill before.
Hey,
obviously, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Obviously, he's got to be on the field. And we know that probably Jackson Arnold won't overthrow him.
Monty.
Or at least underthrow him for sure.
Daniel Antonkumi is who you're talking about. I think he's going to be really good down the road. Hey,
sky's the limit.
Follow his YouTube channel. It's good stuff. Good vlog.
Great guy. I don't think Freeman needs to hit the portal. I think he's a great guy to have there as a filler. That's what he is. Come in a few plays a game. Do something. That's it.
Yeah. EPL's different. You're right, Steven. He's got
EPL is different, Jay. EPL is different. And Jay, break us down with a little trivia tonight. Before we do, though.
Oh my gosh, I got to come up with the trivia today.
Hey, before we get to the trivia, listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. You do not want to miss being part of the Shirt of the Month Club at FanStop. The April shirt is fire, okay? That's all I'm going to say. It is absolute fire. You can get 10% off the Shirt of the Month Club by using code SURGE. Go to fanstop.com. All the links are in the description. You don't want to miss on this one. Sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. And I'll also say this. You got to get on there by March 20th and do it in order to get the April shirt. So you got about 15 days. Make sure you do it by then because you do want the April shirt. Promise you. There you go. Jay's trying to probably go to Google for some kind of trivia question here. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know when they were invented, Oakey Guy. Why don't you tell us? You seem to be a puka shell necklace connoisseur, okay? Okay? And I'm serious. I'll gladly give my puka shell necklace. I'll give you like the shirt off my back, the puka shell necklace for you if you want it that bad, Oakey Guy.
Kyla says have not gotten the March shirt yet. I don't know where
I got my March shirt.
I did too, but I don't know where Kyla lives. It might be a little bit. I just got mine yesterday or the day before. So
yeah, I just got mine a few days ago, so it could be that.
Kyla, if you don't get it by a day or two, let us know. So
hey, my wife's worn mine. She loves it. St. Patty's Day one, man.
My wife said, "What kind of shirt is that?" Because it was green, not red. I was like, "Oh, you." Oh, it took a while. Hey, man, I got to come up with a trivia. And listen, here, I'm going to go with this one. This is probably going to be super easy again. But to me, Latrey Darthard, other than Source tonight, was probably player of the game, right? And who was the last OU basketball player to wear number 0?
Ooh.
I hope I'm right on this. So I haven't looked it up.
Jay, you remember Tiny Gallon?
Oh, I love Tony Gallon.
Tiny Gallon and Tommy Mason Griffin.
Austin, are you talking about Austin Reeves? No.
Austin Johnson was number 20. Quantas White was 4.
Not Quantas White. I hope I'm right. I think Hunter's got it, but I think I know it.
Quantas White was 4, Chief T-Bird, and I love Quantas White.
What was the number?
Ace
was Austin
McGee.
Reeves.
Ace McGee was 13. Jordan Woodward was 10.
Correct. Jordan Woodward
was 10, Gray God.
Hey,
but I'm just a casual fan. I don't know basketball.
You shouldn't have to go back very far, Jeremy. You should know this.
Willie Warren was 13, Sooner fan.
Yeah, Eric Gray was
0, but that's football. Golly, I'm good at numbers, Jay. I loved Willie Warren. Loved Willie Warren.
I'm surprised you don't know the answer to this, Jeremy. It's a guy you were not a fan of.
I think I do know the answer to it. Jay.
Just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know the answer to it.
Okay.
Quantas White was 4. I don't think
anyone was a hint. Let me give Jay is wrong.
Oh, Hunter's calling you out, Jay. Really? Aaron McGee was 13. Ebby Raw was 2.
Yep, Ebby Raw was 2. Jay is wrong. Interesting.
Apparently you're wrong, Jay. How does he know who you're thinking of, Jay?
Y'all better get to typing on Google. I don't know if Hunter remembers the same one I think of.
You gave him a hint saying it's in the last 3 years, so.
But I guess I'm wrong, according to Hunter. Hunter
has the answer in front of him, Jay. I want someone else to put a name in here. I can tell you what number he was.
Drop a hint for the people, bro.
Remember Johnny Gilbert? Johnny Gilbert was amazing. Christian James.
What?
Christian James.
There it is, Benny Schroeder. Listen, I was going Jordan Goldwire, but
Goldwire was 0.
That's what I'm saying, but I forgot about Benny Schroeder. That's why I said a couple years ago.
Benny Schroeder never sniffed the floor.
Yeah, there it is, Benny Schroeder.
Christian James was as well. Christian James were 0 1 year and then 3 1 year.
Hey, Hunter, I need to get with you later about the trivia. One night I asked 3 questions, so I'll get with you on that. We'll update it. I went a little nuts one night.
Had a buddy ask me this: who's better, Danny Stutzman, Kenneth Murray, or Nick Benito? In my opinion, the Chief T-Bird got one too.
Victory Walker. Yeah. Hey, those 3.
In my opinion, Jay, out of those 3, I'm going Kenneth Murray right now for pure linebacker and Stutzman second. Nick Benito played edge a lot.
Yeah, I would have considered him a true linebacker.
Nick Benito wasn't your linebacker guy.
Look at that. Topher dropping the stats, baby. Benny Schroeder averaging 4 points a game this year.
Yeah, Benito was more of a DN.
Jimmy says, what game show was Gene the Dancing Machine on? I don't know if I know that one.
I do not know that one.
I've only watched a few game shows in my life. Price is Right and Press Your Luck. So that's about it.
No whammies. Monty.
No whammies.
I would agree with you.
Stop.
Oh, the Gong shows. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Monty, I would agree with you with your rankings because I think, Benito's not really a linebacker. Yeah, D-end. If we're going D-end to Benito, but we're saying linebackers.
Yeah, Eric's right. Hey.
I don't know what the original question was. If it was just going.
Who's the best?
Kleinschik from Slovenia. OU won the basketball game in overtime. Massive win. Gets them to 20. They're going to probably be going dancing. Highly, highly likely.
Correct. OU's in the dance, which is huge.
Is there anything better than Selection Sunday when you know your team's getting in it pretty much? That's huge.
Oh, it's massive. Massive.
Brady Manick went to North Carolina, and I think he's playing overseas.
Overseas, which I think he's playing really well, actually. So
yeah, that's another one that Porter Moser. That's another one Moser couldn't keep around.
Well, a lot of people thought Northweather was going to be similar to Manick. He just hasn't there. He's not there yet. I think he could be a lot better. I just think he's not there yet.
That's going to be the bigger. Who's going to be the bigger superstar? In my opinion, here's what I'm going to say.
Thanks, Hunter, for dropping that in there. There you go, Kyla. Hunter dropped it in.
Hey, here's what I'm going to say, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that Stutzman is going to be the more, I don't want to say valuable. I think Stutzman's production is going to go even better because the D-line is going to be better.
I would agree with that because he's not going to have as much trash dealing with in front of him. It'd be cleaner for him.
The gaps will be there for him to fill. I agree.
I do think something, though, about Bowman, and I'm interested to see what they do. If they will play him at all on kick return or anything, because all you have to do is watch any game last year when he made an interception. Is he not? I mean, the guy's elite with the ball in his hand. Find a way.
He is.
I don't care what you have to do. Maybe find a way to get him the ball a little bit.
Now, I will say this, though, and people might not
offensively, but at least special teams
wise. People might not like what I'm about to say. Bowman was absolutely elite and made the biggest plays of the year on either side of the ball. He was kind of the biggest playmaker. But there were games last year that, in my opinion, Bowman's got to clean up a lot.
Yeah, but Bowman, like Jimmy says, ball skills are it's unmatched. And Steven, I'll say this right now. That's one of the dumbest rules I've ever seen, this NFL kickoff rule. And I don't even know if you're talking about the onside kick, if that's what you're talking about. But if that's the one you're talking about, if they pass that, it's absolutely ridiculous.
We talk basketball a lot on here, especially on game days. I know we'll be doing some baseball content and videos and stuff, but I'm not sure about lives.
Well, once Big 12 play, it's probably more.
Bowman can return punts. I'm not sure I'd want him to return it. Look, if you didn't have anyone else, and he was far and away better, but they got some dudes like Petaway and Reagans they can put back there.
Hey.
Headache.
Hey, Grey God. This is awesome comment by Grey God, by the way. And Grey God, thanks for watching. Thanks for always being on there. We appreciate you and all you guys. Hey, Bowman has a swagger to him, will be in the NFL for years. To me, Bowman seems like a guy that's an NFL veteran as far as the way he carries himself already. He's not even in the NFL. He's a guy that's played 4 years in college. To me, that means a lot to me as an NFL guy. And he's a guy that could have left when Lincoln Riley left. He didn't. He stuck it through. He's gotten better. Look at he's gotten better every year. I mean, he is. He's way better than he used to be. I agree. He's going to have an outstanding career.
Spring practices don't start until
I thought they started
next Monday.
Steven, I disagree, bud, on that one. The radio and the helmet should be a yet. I mean, I like that. Why would you not like that? Do you not like that, Jeremy?
I like the radio. Look, if the radio and the helmets are going to stop all the signs on the sideline held up, big old poster boards, pink, green, I'm for it. I don't want to see those anymore. It's ridiculous.
Why is the quarterback, would you not prepare them for the NFL already and do the helmet thing? Why
you're doing a disservice if you don't do that.
Why do college and high school and NFL, why do they deliberately not make rules that are closer together so guys will be prepared more when they get to the next level? I think
it's a disservice if you don't.
It's just like high school basketball. No shot clock. Are you kidding me? Like
that's ridiculous. I agree.
Let's move on.
Hey,
30, at least put a shot clock up there, get guys prepared.
Larry Bear Golf. What a play that was, too. What a play that was at the end zone against Sanders.
Hey, has there been a better safety at OU since when? A guy that's been as physical, Billy Bowman, a ball hawk.
I actually don't think. I mean, here's what I would say: Bowman is not on the physical level of a Brandon Everidge, but Brandon Everidge, no,
He doesn't
Jay.
hit as hard. He doesn't hit as hard, but he's more. He's physical. He's bigger.
Bowman is not on the physical level as a Brandon Everidge, but Brandon Everidge is not even near the cover guy of a Billy Bowman.
I do agree though with
how about that?
Jimmy Turner Yell was pretty. He was a good one. I mean, he laid some wood pretty good. I don't think he's Bowman. He's not Bowman's level of the ball though, with the ball and as a guy that makes plays on the ball.
Stephen Parker is a good comparison to Bowman.
Yeah, but he wasn't nearly the consistent as Bowman, not even close, consistency wise. Parker's a guy that would make a play, but then you turn around, he wouldn't be anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Chief,
thanks,
appreciate that so much. Thanks, Chief, for always being on here, man. Hey,
appreciate you, Chief. Chief says, is Bowman the best OU defender with the ball in his hands in the last 2 years?
I would say yes. I would say yes. And I don't think Perkins was on defense. It was on punt return. Defensively, Perkins didn't make a ton of plays.
Okay, so Jay, how about who would be then? Who's the last best one?
With the ball in his hands, I'll tell you a guy. I thought he didn't make the returns as him, but Trey Norwood was really good at making plays on the ball.
I tell you who I think is Zach Sanchez.
Yeah, maybe Sanchez, but Trey Norwood had a lot of interceptions, man.
With the ball in his hands, probably Zach Sanchez.
But different positions.
Yeah.
I mean, Bowman's a true safety. So I don't know how far you'd have to go back. But
Graham left.
Yeah, and Graham made the one play, but I wouldn't say he made a ton of plays. I don't know if there's been a guy that every time he intercepts the ball, he may run into the house. They haven't had a guy like that, Jeremy.
Did Trey Brown ever get many interceptions? He did.
Yeah, he made some big plays and big moments, but he never took one and took it the other way very often. That's why I think it's so special about Billy Bowman. When he intercepts it, literally you stand up and think he might go to the house.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, you probably have a better lawn for sure. The lawn I have now is not great, but my previous lawn was money. Hybrid Bermuda grass. It looked like the Masters, okay?
What happened? Why did it say Jay by a mile?
Your lawn, better than mine. It is at the house I'm at now for sure. My grass doesn't grow very well here.
Hey, T. Moses, appreciate it, bud. Thank you so much. Appreciate that super.
Thank you, T. Moses. Ron says Trey Brown's been good. He has been good in the NFL. Really good, actually.
Yeah. He's been better than I thought.
Colden was okay.
But he never ball in hands, I get it, but like he didn't make any returns really.
Right. I agree. He made good interceptions, but
Chad, appreciate you. Thanks so much for the super. I think he will be an undrafted free agent. Yes.
I think he will be drafted. I think that, and thanks for the super chat, I think that Drake Stoops gets drafted.
Sooner fan, Pat Jones, he says Pat Jones doesn't think Drake Stoops will get drafted. Listen, I'm going to say something. Now, move on.
Say it, Jay.
No, I was just going to say.
Say it, bud. Don't be scared.
Pat Jones, sometimes to me, I know he coached in the NFL. It's been a long time since he coached in the NFL. Okay? And don't tell me that Drake Stoops okay, I agree with Pat Jones on won't get drafted. I agree with that, if that's all you're saying. I thought you were saying that Pat Jones is saying he won't play in the NFL. And what I mean by that is you cannot say that because all you have to do is go look at Wes Welker, Cooper Kupp. There's a bunch of them, okay? So, and listen, I like Pat Jones. I do think that comment, if he said he won't be drafted, I 100% agree. Now, if he's saying he won't make the NFL roster, I disagree. Tony Jefferson.
I don't know, Mark. I don't know
if Tony Jefferson.
I don't know if Mark. I don't know if he would get the comparison of like Honey Badger. But he's going to be one of the best in the SEC. Tony Jefferson. Yeah, Tony Jefferson is a great one. I got a trivia question here. I'm going to go with I'm going to give a free trivia question, Jay.
Yeah.
2 points. Give me Aaron Colvin's number at OU and what high school he went to. Go. 2 points up in the air. What high school Aaron Colvin's from and what number he was as an OU player. 14 is right. I think Sooner fan and Owasso. Hunter, you can figure out who got those first.
That's a good point by Mess. And then
918.
Bobby says at that point, Gray got under. Yeah, it would be better for Stoops to be able to pick. You're right. 19, 22, 14.
It was 14 at OU, Jay.
Where'd you go?
Sorry, I was taking a drink. I didn't want to be on camera. Trying to be professional, man. I see what you put, Sooner fan. Who was it that was telling the story of all that, Jay?
Of what? It was Zach Sanchez. Zach Sanchez.
Was it?
I believe it was Zach Sanchez, yeah. Mr. L, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, it was Sanchez, correct.
Yes.
Hey, so tomorrow, Brent Venables presser.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. We'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow night.
I have a feeling we're going to have a lot to talk about. Maybe let's talk about this because tomorrow, what's the over-under on how many times Brent Venable uses the word palpable?
Competitive depth.
Palpable.
Palpable?
Yeah.
Hey, apparently a lot of them did, Ricky.
Maybe we should ask that. Mess. Will BB bring up you, freak?
Culture.
Probably weight room.
Culture. Hey, listen. The BB press. Hey, BB presser is 2:00. I want everyone to listen before we get on this live tomorrow night. Because tomorrow
you're giving us homework again. Jeez.
I'm giving you homework, everybody. Watch the live. Let's be on it. I got some shout outs right now. Oh, Hunter, it's 2:30. Hunter says 2:30. Okay. I got some shout outs here tonight. Chad Gamble, thanks so much for being a Sooner Surge Unlimited member and a super giver tonight. And by the way, Chad, Chief T-Bird, both Sooner Surge Unlimited members. Guys, we would love to have more on the Discord. Unlimited members. Hunter can drop that in the comment here in a second. How you can join up to be a member of our channel. Would really appreciate to have more, and then you can be in the Discord with us. But thanks, Chad. Thanks, Chief T-Bird. Thanks, T. Moses. Josh Crenshaw. Appreciate it. And here is the Sooner Surge Unlimited membership opportunity. Would love if you would join up with us. Appreciate it.
And also, fanstop.com. I'll say this. I've seen a preview of the April shirt. You got to get signed up by March 20th.
It's legit.
It's so good. You got to get signed up by March 20th to do that. Go to the fanstop.com. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Really, really good looking shirts. And the good thing about these shirts is I love the fact that they're not all the same. They're all different. They're different colors. They're different logos, but you have the OU on there. It's great stuff. And real quick, kudos to OU men's basketball. The monkey is off Porter's back. They're in the NCAA tournament. Huge win tonight. Huge gut check, really. But huge win. Congrats to Oklahoma men's basketball. Much needed. Appreciate everybody on this chat tonight. It's been a great chat tonight. You guys have brought it as you always do. Even the ones that banter, we love it. We love the banter. So bring it on. It's good stuff. Jeremy, anything?
Hey, yeah. Congrats. I'm super happy for the team. And look, I've been on Porter Moser a lot. I give him kudos for the fight that this team showed tonight. I give him kudos for the out-of-bounds play to Latrey Darthard. I was impressed with that out-of-bounds play call. And look, there are some things he's definitely improved from last year. He's made some adjustments. He's gotten out of his way and kind of accepted some changes. And I'm glad, and for that, they're going to go dancing this year. And we know what Moser does in March. So he's going to have an opportunity this year at OU to make that run. And I can't wait to be at least playing on the Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday, right after spring break. Going to be fun. Thanks for being on here tonight. We'll see you all tomorrow night. Boomer.
Sooner.